There you go.
So our meeting is starting. Let's stand for the flag salute, please. Diane, would you like to lead us on your last slide here? Yeah.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Have you heard from John?
Yeah, he's in Wyoming or someplace like
That's
that.
Keith.
Keith, you mean?
No,
John.
John Laurel.
Oh, John.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be here
Yeah,
because
he's planning on being here as far as I know.
it's been a week since I've heard from him. So maybe I should send him a,
Text or see where's that?
yeah, reminder.
There he is.
Oh,
John.
I think-
He's right there.
I think that long commute.
Darn, we have to share our goodies. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
So it's a special night tonight and I welcome everybody here. I'm glad that you're here. We have some special things going on. And we do have a piece of business we need to take care of before we go on to our special events. So that is the approval of the minutes. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes for our last meeting, which was held on November 17th? And while we're doing that, Jessica, the minute should show that Keith is absent because he's out of town for business. Right. For his business.
Is that excused?
I guess so. I don't think we vote on it being excused, but I don't think it's a.
It's not gonna matter.
He said you could fire him.
That would be fun if you did that in minutes.
Yeah.
Instead of him being replaced.
Well, for not telling us, except he did, he told Bill.
Yeah, well.
We're supposed to tell the board chair. We should probably fire him.
Yeah, right.
Deal with that right off.
Get a kick out of that minute he was fired.
All right.
I guess that's why I'm here, so I won't be fired.
Exactly right.
Getting fired on your last day is kind of a thing, yeah, and you're out.
Just check. I heard it.
I move that we approve the minutes as, well, wait a second.
A second.
The minutes say the next meeting will be held January blank at 6 p.m.
That's because we haven't set a date for January yet. We'll be doing it at this meeting.
Okay.
Do you want to say something a little more clear?
It'll be explained in the next meeting.
We did not, but I mean, like, if we're approving the November 17th minutes, we didn't have an executive session.
Yes, we did.
Oh, did we?
Didn't we have an executive session?
No.
No,
No,
we haven't had one in a long time.
but we do have the agenda item, but no we didn't adjourn into an executive.
Right, so it really shouldn't be on the minutes that we had executive session.
Well, it's an agenda item, but I
Yeah,
guess
but-
that's, you know, during discussion. We could just say no
No,
executive.
exactly, yeah.
Item
Yeah.
9, no executive session held. Item 10, the board will either leave it like that or say the board will change the date for January at their December meeting or discuss the date for the January meeting at the December meeting or something like that. Whatever. Whatever you want to change it to, Eric, is
Um,
for item 10.
yeah, the board will set the date for January at the December meeting.
Okay. Okay, it's been moved to approve the minutes with 2 corrections on item 9 to say an executive session was not held. And on item 10 that the board will set the January meeting at their next meeting, which is in December. Is there a second?
I'll second.
He already said.
Okay. Bill seconded, it's been moved and seconded. Are there any further discussions? Okay, everyone in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the minutes are approved as corrected. Okay, now the fun stuff starts. So I want to have the board join me and join in congratulating Diane for her service. She will be going on as a retired again from the board from several different times on the board. She's done a lot for us. She's a longtime community member from a longtime family and has been a big contribution to the board because of her experience, including working here. And very instrumental in getting PCIA put together. So I really want to thank you for that. And we have cookies and cider that we'll take a 5-minute break after our oath of office, and everyone can congratulate those who are leaving and those who are coming in.
Thank you so much, Diane. It's been wonderful having you here to help me get on board. I really appreciate all the support that you've shown me.
And of course, you're welcome to join us on retreat sessions or any board meetings that you want too. That would be great. So the next activity is our oath of office for our newly elected directors. And we have 3 elected directors coming in. Joan Stevenson right here. Joan is a longtime family of this area. Her grandfather or great-grandfather started the Stevenson Mill process in our area. And her dad ran the Broughton Mill. Is that right?
Right?
Yeah, and so a longtime family in our community, which really started the jobs in our area. There were lots of mills before him, but they were small shingle mills up off the Oklahoma Road. And so we're real proud to have that mill there, and the mill at Hood and the mill at Bingen have all been as a result of Joan's family. And she is a graduate of Millay School.
From the first graduating class in this building.
Wow.
That's right.
Awesome.
And so our efforts to improve this building are certainly justified because this building was completed and occupied with the first class in 61, which graduated in 62. So, and that really wasn't that long ago, right?
No.
Our other newly elected director is John Morrow. John's been here for quite a while and very instrumental in participating and supporting the board in the creation of PCIA. We really appreciate what he has done for us. He is not only a local person, he is also the father. He and his wife Rachel have 6 children. And we're real happy about that. He has 2 that have graduated from PCIA and 4 more working their way up. And Isabella's at PCIA.
Freshman year, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
and so I just am really proud of what John and Rachel have done and what they've done to support our community. And I'm very happy to have you with us tonight. So Kelly will be issuing the oaths of office, which also includes me. I probably don't have to introduce myself. But Joe, huh?
Who are you?
Who are you?
You do have to
What, when?
you take the oath again?
I do have to take the oath again. Yep, I sure do. And so Joan graduated in 62 from Millay. And I graduated in 64 from Millay. I was a little girl just causing her trouble, I'm sure. Because I go to her house and visit her sister. We'd probably make a lot of noise and run around and cause trouble. And so we didn't have kindergarten back in those days. So we both started Millay with the first grade. And my family is from here. My parents both graduated from Stevenson High School, but we lived in Stevenson and we didn't move to Millay till I was probably 5 or so.
Did you guys both start at the old school then?
Yep, oh yeah.
The church?
And the old school expanded while we were there. The lunchroom became a classroom and all kinds of stuff just to make room for all of us. Yep.
When did this school open?
This school was completed and ready for occupancy in 1961. And provide, and prior to the old school where the church is now, we had a school in Willard, which is actually north of Big Cedars by about a mile. And then we had a school in Chenoweth as well, which was off of Harris Road. And I don't know if that was the Harris Barn before it was a school or after it was a school, but one or the other.
Actually, there were like 5 schools around.
Well, Chenoweth had one where
There's one
the
up
cemetery is.
Was one up to Oklahoma.
And there was
Yeah.
above Oklahoma. Well, that's the Willard School I was calling the Willard
Oh,
School.
there was,
Farther up too by Les Creek.
I don't know exactly, but I remember it's somewhere around here. I have the history and it's probably in the attic and, you know, but, yeah. It's interesting because there were 5.
Well, there were
5 different schools.
travel was challenging, but the valley here was one of the last places to be settled because all the activity happened up off of Oklahoma Road
Oh, yeah.
when the first settlers came here.
Mhm.
And it was, you could prove up on your land, you just build a cabin and live in it for however many years, 2 years or whatever, and you got title to it. And the first business was shingles, and they would take them out by wagon and they went up over Underwood. They didn't, this road coming down Cook was a trail until the 30s. And so,
You gotta write a book.
pardon?
You gotta write a book on it.
There's a lot of stuff out there, cause like up Little Rock Creek Road. There was
Mhm.
tracks up there because the orchards, the apple orchards, they had the train, they hauled stuff out.
That
That way.
the logs came up by rail eventually, just like they did throughout the rest of Skamania County. And there was a huge, so the historic families that came here, the Laytons and the Greens and the DeBolts. I'm not sure whichever ones there were, but they all put orchards in here. And most of them were pear, but the orchards didn't do well. And I've heard that they didn't do well, and you could correct me if you've heard differently, but the soil, Millet soil is pretty nice, but it doesn't hold the moisture.
No, cause it's,
And
yeah,
and the water just, that's why we don't have any flood. What flood? We don't have any.
yeah.
I have seen
I don't
Rock
know, my
Creek
creek was
flood.
pretty high last week.
I have seen Rock Creek flood, but
Yeah.
other than that, water just soaks away
My grandma came in 29.
in 29, okay. Yep, so that's a lot of history. And so we're really excited to have a board with a diverse amount of experience in the community as well as experience in jobs that all of us have had over the years. So Kelly, are you ready?
I think so. I've never done this before, so maybe you and I can go first and you can make sure I do it right.
Oh, okay. I think it's just a repeat after
I
me.
think it is.
Can we work some other stuff in there?
My husband is absolutely convinced that there was an obey line in our vows. And the only way that was in there is if he like snuck it in there at the last minute, because no way would I have said okay to that.
Okay.
So if there's anything you want me to try to sneak in here, now would be the time to tell me.
Right.
Darn.
All right, look, she's already got her right hand up, so please just repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, Anita Gayhammer Crowe,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Washington
and the state of Washington
and the laws of the state of Washington,
and the laws of the state of Washington.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties,
And I will faithfully
faithfully
discharge the duties
of the office of Mill A School
the office
District,
of Millet School Director, District
number 31,
number 31,
Director, position 1,
Director, position
to
1,
the best of my abilities.
to the best of my abilities. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations.
Position 2.
I think we're going CBA rather than ABC.
Okay,
I don't even know this.
you ready?
I'm ready.
See if we can do this. We got it right the first time. We'll see if you and I can do it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for raising your hand. So I, and then say your name,
I, Joan Stevenson Graham,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Washington
and the state of Washington
and the laws of the state of Washington,
and the laws of the state of Washington,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Mill A School District,
of the office of Mill A School District,
number 31,
number 31,
Director, Position 5,
Director, Position 5,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
You.
Dylan, you can take your
You can
seat.
take your seat, and then I will give these to you guys and you can sign them.
Hey, get my pen.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't pull it
Well,
off.
there we go.
I'm gonna be an expert by the time we finish today.
Where's the cherry for?
And they all know what to do. They
The
just come through, they
symbolism.
got their right hands up.
They
It's
know.
like they've done this before. All right, I say your name.
I, John Morrell,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Washington
and the state of Washington
and the laws of the state of Washington,
and the laws of the state of Washington.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
And I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Mill A School District,
of the office of Mill A School District,
number 31,
number 31,
Director, Position 2,
Director, Position 2,
to the best of my abilities.
to the best of my abilities.
All right.
Congratulations.
So we're gonna take a 5-minute break so you can shake hands and ask people questions or whatever. And if we're done socializing before 5 minutes, we'll just sit right back down, but there are refreshments in the back to help us celebrate and acknowledge our new board members who have given their time and will bring their expertise to us.
And if each of our newly elected board members would please sign the oath, and then I will also sign it, we'll get it submitted.
Okey-dokey, recording's in progress. Yep. We are back into our regular meeting. The next thing on the agenda is the election of new officers. So the nomination for chair for our board is now open.
I know.
Joan and Bill. Okay, Bill first. Okay,
Ditto.
and ditto. Okay, Joan ditto. Did you see that movie where, oh, well, never mind, that's not a very good subject. The guy was always afraid to say I love you, so he just said ditto.
I think it was Rush Limbaugh.
Okay, pardon? You thought of something else too?
It wasn't inappropriate, I just, you said it was Ghost, and, no, I think that was Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, goodness. Are there any other nominations for the position of chair? Okay, nominations are closed. So when we vote on our officers, we have to do it by roll call. And so we will go through a roll call. Any other comments or discussions or anything before we proceed with voting?
I would just add that I am very supportive of you continuing as chair, Anita. Appreciate your service, and yeah, I'm glad to have you continue to serve.
Well, thank you, John. That reminds me that I probably should say thank you to Joan and Bill. I appreciate that. It has been a challenging and rewarding position to be in. And so I appreciate the opportunity to have another year. We re-elect officers every year. And anyone else that's interested next year, get a little bit under your belt for our new ones, whatever. So I appreciate that and thank you very much. Okay, so let's go down and do a roll call, and you're recording the roll call, okay? Joan, would you vote yay or nay for Anita as the chair of the board?
Yay.
Bill,
Yay.
Anita, yay. John,
Yay.
Eric,
Yay.
okay, that's 5-0. Thank you very much for recording that, Jessica. So now the chair will take the position of chair, the new chair will take the position of chair. Now we're following the outline that is set up in our policy. And I'm not sure how much of this is RCW, but our policy that shows how we proceed in this particular situation. So then I assume the office,
Have this here, because I'm the only one up here right now.
Nice.
if you get a fire call, you let us know. We'll take a quick break.
You'll hear.
Okay, so nominations for vice chair are now open.
Nita, I'd like to, jump in and I would, very supportive of you as chair, and I'm glad we're gonna continue that way. My nomination is for Eric to serve as vice chair. I don't think that we often, end up needing the vice chair to step in, but I know that when the chair is absent, that happens, and it can be an important role. So I'm supportive of Eric, for that position, just based on his years of experience serving on the board, and kind of the depth of his knowledge. So that would be my nomination.
Thank you very much. Are there any other nominations for vice chair?
I'll just nominate John.
Thank you.
You can accept or decline, whichever you choose, John, as could Eric.
You know, I'm happy to serve if Eric doesn't want to, it's fine, but I would probably decline and kind of put my support with Eric, but yeah, that's what I would do.
Well, Eric, you certainly have got the experience that will certainly benefit me and benefit the board as the vice chair. And I think that that's a great thing if you accept that nomination. And John, I think it's wonderful that you've been nominated and recognized, and that you're gonna get a lot of good experience under your belt, and who knows what next year will bring.
Yes, well, we'll see, and I appreciate the nomination. Yeah, certainly, not gonna change my participation in the board. I'm happy to be here and anxious to lend a hand to all the important issues that we have, so thank you for the nomination, but yeah.
So thank you very much, Bill, for the nomination. And we will now, any further discussions or comments? We'll now proceed with voting for the position of vice chair, for Eric as vice chair. And we'll start Joan. Yay. Yay. Bill, yay. Anita, yay. John, yay. Eric.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's a 5-0 vote in favor, and so then the vice chair will take the office of vice chair, and you never know what will come up, and because life is always throwing us a curve. The last week has thrown so many curves at our district that
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it has.
so the next thing on the agenda is approving the agenda, because we didn't do that prior to starting. We waited for that to be with our new members, and so if you have, we do have a place on the agenda for bringing up new business or old business, or if you have any comments about our agenda. This is when we modify our agenda and the board agrees or disagrees with the proposed modifications. Any proposed modifications?
I think it's fine. I would say our second and third readings, I think we should be prepared to give our new board members time if they're not ready to adopt them, and maybe end up adopting them in January. So as they come right in.
I think that's a great idea. Are you suggesting that maybe we just table item 10 until the January meeting?
Honestly, yeah, because we
Okay.
have a big discussion on capital budget and everything else. I think table item 10 would be wise.
To January. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. That's the one modification. Anybody else have any other comments or?
Not for me.
And of course, I'm all flustered. We don't vote on that, right? We just, nobody objects to changing, modifying the agenda.
If somebody moves that we approve the agenda as modified, I think then
Okay.
we're good.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda as modified?
Oh,
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, it's moved and seconded to approve the agenda with one modification, which is item 10 will be postponed until the January meeting. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
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 All right, thank you, everyone. Our consent agenda for our new members, we have items under our consent agenda that we discuss one at a time. And then after our discussion, we vote on them, all of them together. We don't vote on them individually. So the AP vouchers are in your binder under consent agenda, no, under, where are they under?
It says
Under AP
AP.
payroll.
AP payroll. So the only thing that isn't there with a copy is the I don't see a salary sheet. Here it is, here it is. Is our salaries, it's just a single sheet with a single amount that I will announce when we go to approval. It doesn't have details with it, so you should have our AP check registers.
Anita, it would be nice. And I don't know if Kelly's probably not for today or if just whenever we hit the AP, if there's anything of note. Just to be, here's what's interesting, different or a note on the payroll.
I think that would be a great idea because for the new people, you read the RCWs, the board is responsible for approving all invoices. If there are, in the mind of the board, too many invoices for us to review each one of them at a meeting, we can delegate that authority to the superintendent, who then reviews them and presents them to us as approved for payment. We then concur with that and approve them ourselves from the list she provides us.
And Eric, there is something that, I will call attention to, it was, on page 3 of 7.
Yeah.
The 3 desktop computers.
Oh.
That we had a wild ride with, our printers and Chromebooks for our K-8 teachers. I think that there was, a series of events that, made it challenging. Including one of the computers that experienced the most challenge, we're actually sending back as defective. But it started us down pretty extensive rabbit hole of updating printers and all sorts of things. And ultimately, to ensure that our staff had the best experience, we decided to move forward with getting them different computers, which was not as expected, but it was the right.
Okay. Thank you.
Other than that, I think it's all pretty standard. Unless you have any other questions.
We bought fuel and that puts our expenses up a little bit.
It's expensive.
So when we get to the budget, we'll see that we're just slightly over 25% in expenses, and I'm sure that darn fuel took us that way. Has the price been going up?
It
Yeah.
did some, I think this time it was like $7,000 or something that. Or 1,600 and some gallons,
We only do that.
usually twice a year, usually April, November are the 2 months.
We made our Stevenson Carson district payment.
We also have to, we'll discuss when we go to the budget.
No comments for me on the AP or the payroll, just one maybe clarifying point. Part of the consent agenda, it appears that we've got, at least in the packet, the minutes that were approved prior to like the first part of our meeting tonight. Is that correct? We're not, so in other words, we're not approving the minutes as part of the consent agenda.
No. Thanks for pointing that out, because we had to do that earlier so that we had the
Prior.
board members that were in attendance during this meeting, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we added that just this afternoon up front, so we forgot to take it out of the bottom part. But good point, thank you.
That is on me. I was looking at some of your documents.
No, I like that we did that. I don't think we've done that in the past. It's like,
Right.
When you-
Yeah. Although-
you were.
Okay, that's actually physically done.
I move to approve the consent agenda consisting of AP vouchers and payroll.
Thank you, Eric. The payroll is in the amount of $136,267.18.
That amount, what's a .18?
Yes,
And-
$136,267.18.
I second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. The AP check registers is in two pieces of paper here. One is a total of $182,945.75. The other is in the total of $33,030.85. And then we have an ASB check for $49.92. So that's in addition to the payroll amount that we are approving on the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion or questions? Okay, not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the motion has passed. I said aye too. 5-0.
Why not?
All right, so let's move on here. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. But first, let's see if we have any public comments before we move into the superintendent's report. Hi, public.
I see on here the safety committee report. Did you guys have any questions about that?
I don't know if they've had a chance to read it yet.
Oh, okay.
It's in front of their binders. But I think, if you are okay and comfortable if we do after we read it, and you're willing to answer or not, at that point, it would be greatly appreciated.
I'll do that.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll have another public comment period. Any other public comments? Okay, let's move on to reports, discussions, and approvals. Kelly, you're up. Well, no, I guess it's a safety
Yeah,
committee
we'll do the
report
safety.
first, but you're present that.
Yeah, so, Ms. Lomax was out of the office today and, Naomi was not able to make it. So I asked them to prepare something because I know that there was, some discussion at the last meeting that came through some feedback that we've gotten. In the front of your binders, there is, like a written response since they weren't able to be here. So I will just take a moment and read through it, and then if we have any further discussion or questions, I will do my best. I'm not on this committee. This is a committee that you can see the members are Ms. Backlund, Tim, Amy, Lisa, Haley is our nurse, Naomi, and then Barbie as well. So they wanted to respond to the letter that was read at the board meeting to address the recent parking lot updates. The safety committee has been discussing updates to the parking lot since January and have used the readiness and emergency management for schools site assessment tool and have consulted with ESD 112, the Skamania County Emergency Response Team, and Skamania County Road Department to ensure we are meeting current safety standards for schools in our area. It was discussed and decided that a one-way traffic flow in our parking lot would help reduce potential for accidents and increase pedestrian safety. It also creates a more efficient process for student, family, and staff use, and is standard in many other school districts. The Skamania County Road Department assessed our parking lot and surrounding areas and then installed the appropriate road sign for a school zone. The 3 reserve spaces were installed in response to those spaces being used in the morning by non-MASD families while waiting for their school bus at the same time that many of our staff would arrive. Since our morning schedule has changed and resolved that issue, the reserve signs have been taken down. The safety committee's ultimate priority is student and staff safety, and we will continue to discuss and make well-informed decisions to maintain that priority. There will likely be other updates to the campus that our school community will have to adjust to, but we appreciate your understanding that those updates are made only with student and staff safety in mind. It is our hope that this letter brings clarification to the safety considerations made when deciding on necessary updates to our school parking lot. And if you have any other concerns or questions on this topic, please feel free to direct them to the safety committee by mail to the school office, by email to the administrators, or in the MASD suggestion box in our monthly newsletter, and they will be discussed in the monthly meeting. And it's signed by Naomi, the safety committee secretary. So hopefully that answers some of the questions that came up last time that I wasn't able to answer as far as signage and decisions on that. And then if there are still any questions, we will do our best to answer them.
So has everyone had an opportunity to observe the changes in the parking lot as far as parking spaces go, travel of direction? Have we painted crosswalks yet?
No, it's too cold.
So. First of all, I would like to say. It's great that we have a safety committee thinking about these things, assessing, rethinking. I don't think we should be afraid to rethink. I think that as a board, this is something that I'm happy to delegate and maybe question, but I don't want to answer the questions. I want to question the answers we get. And I'm really happy to see that as admin, you've delegated it to a group of people that are stakeholders and what we have in place. And so I don't have any concerns or thoughts large enough that it would make sense to me to not continue to encourage this type of behavior and have our staff engaged in these types of things and in the in the well-being of our students.
Thanks, Eric.
I think I echo those same thoughts. I think it's great that there was clearly quite a bit of diligence put into the thought, or the actions that we took. It's good to see, we have some kind of resolution on the reserve parking, which it sounds like was maybe a bit of a separate issue, or maybe related, but anyway, resolved. I think, my perception of it, is it just hearing feedback from the community or whatever, is it's just one of those things where change is a little bit hard. And, probably in a lot of the things we do as a school district, we're trying to find this balance between recognizing that we're a small district in a smaller community. We don't necessarily want to have, a lot of rules and processes. We want to keep it as simple as we can, but at the same time, by golly, we're a school and we have kids and we have safety and wellness to think about. So I kind of assumed that even though personally I didn't love the changes and all the signage and it kind of formalizes everything a lot. But if it's in the interest of, kind of what we've heard feedback and from, the kind of outside consultants that we talk to, then I think it's great. And I think we probably continue with it. I think my only other thought maybe of just point of feedback or whatever, more as a user of the parking lot or somebody dropping a kid off, is I have one hesitation where now kind of all the inbound traffic comes in by the office there. And if the bus is there, even if there's cars and you can't see beyond them, that I always find kind of hard, and I just go slow. I just creep past because I'm always worried a kid's going to bolt out. Whereas I think more people coming in on the other side before, maybe that was less of an issue, or I wonder, but it's just a trade-off. I
Right.
don't know.
There, yeah.
We have better traffic flow and common traffic flow. But I do think that's probably a higher risk spot right there at the main door. as people are coming
Like
in.
the letter alludes to, the discussion is not, we're not at the end of this process. There are some ongoing discussions that we are trying to work our way through to make sure that they're extremely well thought out from all perspectives. One of the problems with the traffic coming in that other entrance is that when Barbie's backing out, it's a blind spot for her.
Right,
And unfortunately, we are not able to control everyone driving at an appropriate speed in the parking lot.
there, yeah.
Um,
See people.
and so we're trying to kind of mitigate where the hot spots are. And I will tell you that the safety committee has some very, very, very dedicated staff members on it who are working diligently to come up with solutions for problems that are really challenging to come up with. I know we're talking about when we can start painting again, labeling a visitor space. But we want to be mindful that that doesn't then change again because other changes are coming. So like, it is a process. But one of the reasons for the one-way traffic was to ensure that when Barbie's backing out,
Makes sense.
she does not have cars coming in on a blind spot.
Yeah, there was cars coming both directions and I can't see until I'm out of the garage.
Right,
And the fire truck will be going the wrong way.
Mhm.
Definitely.
With
Yeah.
our lights on.
Yeah. That is one of the benefits of having those cool lights. You
Yeah.
kind of get to do whatever you want.
Everybody will stop for you.
Are there other comments? I do, I like your point, John. One of the things that I have been concerned about is, when people come in, at the time the buses are loading with students, when people come in, the entrance, there has to be a blind spot for the driver there and a blind spot for the people coming in, both, and because that's a narrow area. And so I am concerned about that. This is just a feeling, but I think the do not entry signs are a little more obtrusive than they need to be. And I've checked out other parking lots and they're not as glaring in your face, but that's not a change in changing the direction and having one way. It's just how I feel about those signs. And I think that this is probably a very good thing. I'm really happy that we have the committee that's looking at this, and I'm happy that they're talking to families. I hope they are. And I hope they recognize that the people coming in and dropping off students, sometimes I have heard that referred to in a negative way. They are tax-paying citizens who have every right to come here and bring their students here to catch a school bus. So they are not second-class drivers in our parking lot, so they're important too. And I know that originally that was one of the issues because they'd come in and park right up front and get in the way or something else. And so being able to handle that in a fair way, along with all of our other people who are coming and going. The school's been here since '62. We used to have 80 students. So the school's smaller than it used to be, although we do have the 9th through 12th graders now that we haven't had in our history. So that's an
That are also
addition.
Parkers.
Yeah.
That are driving.
Driver.
We have more student drivers.
Those are teenage drivers and it's a good opportunity for them to learn protocol and safety and things like that. So I think it's a great thing, but I hope they do continue to have an open mind to some of the concerns expressed, which included the unwelcoming feel that the large signs created that we got in our anonymous letter as the reserved spaces, which has been addressed. That issue has been addressed. So
I will say that.
thank you very much to the committee. If they come back, could they provide a map along with their letter, please?
Yeah.
maybe they're not ready for a map yet to show where the crosswalks will be and.
That
Or the bus-
hasn't been finalized,
Yeah.
yeah, that is still,
No, I'm-
that is an ongoing and challenging
Is that
discussion.
within the parking lot, crosswalks? Yeah.
Yeah, we already have, we've already purchased the little crosswalk signs and we've got vests, and the day that we, were not able to secure a sub, and we had all of our families drive,
All right.
we got an opportunity to, utilize the crosswalk signs and some of our cones. We did dismissal in 6 minutes, having never done it before. We received a lot of compliments on the fact that it was very organized, that, we were really being mindful of things like that. So it is a challenging and ongoing discussion with the next steps and how to make that happen, but, we are having rich dialogue around how to keep students safe and keeping the conversation student centered.
Well, I'm excited that the process is happening.
Yeah, it's exactly what is supposed to be happening, right? Like, I'm really proud of the fact that, like, I'm not on this committee. This is. One, it's kind of nice to have 1 hour a month back, to do other things, but also that we have so many professionals and dedicated staff that they've got it. Like,
Right.
they've got it. I can read the minutes, and anything that needs to come to me comes to me. And other than that,
And, I would say, Anita, I agree, those signs are like huge and obnoxious. We have some deeply ingrained behaviors in this community.
tell you on the day.
With any of them.
On the day of, where we had all the families pick up, we had several people drive in that way, and
And
we were
then-
like, whoa, and they're like, I didn't see the sign.
Exactly. I did it a couple times, because it's like, I'm just so used to coming in there that it's like blind to those signs there, and so I think like, once we change behavior, it would be very reasonable to like say, can we make this a little smaller or a little less
I
obnoxious?
will also say that where I tend to park, I did not like having to come in the way we are now coming in, because that means I get out on the grass side instead of the parking lot side, and sometimes my shoes get muddy.
Yep.
I was not happy about that. I tried to park to the outside of the parking spot, but it's the
That
right
much more
decision.
asphalt or gravel or something
Yeah.
along there, because that's happened to me too. On rainy days, it's like, ooh, I slip because my foot gets half on the asphalt and half on.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
lots of
All right.
things to consider.
I have, and to Anita's point of when we come in, the bus is there, and can we have somebody out there to kind of mitigate somebody getting hit?
Like a crossing guard?
I think that might be something that they would consider, because it is a narrow spot between the parked cars and the school bus.
Yeah,
And so if you have cars coming in there, who knows why they're coming in? So they may just stop and their kids waiting out here or something else. So yeah, that's
That is part of the
That's a good
discussion
idea.
that's a narrow point.
ongoing. Yep.
When I was in school, they had the upperclassmen, they'd walk the kids down the sidewalks, and then where the crosswalks were, they had the flag and full.
Well, they're the upperclassmen with the crossing guards.
Yeah.
Okay,
mhm.
so Kelly will take our concerns and our thanks and everything else back to them. And I think that idea of upperclassmen, I don't know if they're out at the same time, but
She knows.
all right, thank you.
Dismissed at the same time. We will see what the committee comes up with next. Okay.
The budget report is next. Are you gonna give them the good news first?
Oh, I have it in my superintendent's
Oh,
report.
okay, all right, never mind.
I do just wanna, revenues are at 21.04 and expenditures at 25.67. Like Anita mentioned, the fuel was a large expense, but also like we purchased all of our curriculum at the beginning of the year, so the beginning of the year is much larger purchases, so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the main point would be, is there anything big that's happened so far this year that would cause us concern overall with the budget?
No,
Yeah,
even the computer expenditure, we should be okay.
Yeah.
Like that was, while it wasn't necessarily something that we had anticipated doing. There are some other changes that will kind of offset it. It's not something that I've got concern about. As we progress through the year, if it becomes something, then I'll definitely bring that to the board's attention.
So I do have a request, Kelly. If you could ask. Especially for the benefit of our new board members. And maybe on a quarterly basis, have a budget detail report provided to the board on a quarterly basis.
Yeah.
You recognize that, Eric?
Yep.
And Bill, do you recognize that? We get this, we've gotten this an occasion, maybe quarterly or at the next meeting, starting with the next meeting, so that our new members can get an idea of how the money is.
It would be nice if, like, I don't think it takes anything extra, well, I don't remember if it did to prepare that, but even if we just got that electronically, that would be great, that we could go.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Definitely do that. It is a lengthy
Yeah,
printout.
I don't necessarily need the printout, but if I can just have it for reference electronically, that would be great. And again, with that, if there's any like variants, like note this type of items on the detail report, that would be super, super helpful.
We're pretty boring usually financially, but I
That
would be
makes it
happy to
like
do that.
that I'm not scrolling through 20 pages to like see if there's anything that stands out.
Okay, any other questions about the budget or comments? 25% through the year, and so we're looking really good. Let's go on to the superintendent's report.
Okay, we're gonna try something new. See how it goes.
There we go.
And I have a clicker. So we got a lot of new things we're gonna try to make happen today.
We're probably just gonna put it.
I went clicker happy at the assembly and was all over the map, so it was pretty bad. I would try to be more disciplined here. So I wanted to try to come up with something that's a little bit more uniform, and so I will definitely take feedback on the format, but I thought giving you guys some visuals to go along, and then I can always email out the report afterwards if you'd like. So here is our December report. Highlighting that we just finished working on gratitude, and this month we're focusing in on cooperation. It worked. Okay. So just kind of a quick snapshot. December is filled with things. So I've got our winter happenings up there. Also wanted to call attention to the fact that in November, we ended grading period 2 for PCIA and we sent out progress reports. That's different this year. So I would like to just apologize to all of the parents that the format is changing from period 1 to period 2, and it might change when we get to semester 2 as we are working through what is best. And we also finished our first 6-week intervention cycle, and we got a ton of festivities, activities, and winter fun. So one of the main things that is happening right now in teaching and learning is the evaluations. So 6 of our certificated staff are on comprehensive evaluations, which means it's a full evaluation across all 8 state criteria. It will include multiple observations, 1 of 30 minutes, with some additional information or observations and student growth goals. Certificated staff in Washington are required to have it at least once every 4 years, and it gives us a really good picture of their instructional practice. As the evaluator, I will tell you that basically what happens, I go in, we have a scheduled time, the teachers decide when they want me to come in. I'm in there for 30 minutes, trying to be like a fly on the wall, taking notes as fast as I can. And then I go back with those notes and I code them to the state criteria. For a comprehensive review, each one takes about 2 hours to code right now. Cause within those criteria are like subdomains and each one has a rubric. So it is an extensive process. And so to have over 50% of our staff on that is, quite time consuming. 5, teachers are on focused. They select a criteria. It's usually around student growth, either whole class, small group, or, their how they will use their professional development to drive student growth. And it's a much narrower scope. I still go in, I still do the observation, we still discuss their craft, but we talk a lot about how they're using data to drive student growth, so.
So now, this is a huge effort, and I think it's really important. I'm really super happy you're doing it. Is there some way we can stagger it in the future so it is not such a major?
I will be working on that so that we can get it better split, but for employees who are newer to the district, they're on comprehensive for a couple of years automatically.
Okay,
And then because we hired so many staff all at the same time, their cycle.
I see,
Right.
okay.
So, I've already talked to a couple teachers and been like, hey, what do you think about maybe having a comprehensive, like, in a year or two from now, even though technically you won't need it to kind of get off that cycle. And I believe that we'll be able to do that. So it won't be like this forever, but it will look like this for a couple more years.
Okay.
So how many teachers do you have to do that with right now?
11 total.
So that's, 2 hours apiece.
The comprehensive has been taking me about 2 hours to code. So and then the focus takes less, but then there's also the observation, there's a pre-observation meeting, there's a post-observation meeting, and all of this takes place first semester. And then we do more in second semester. So if you are wondering how I've been spending my time, that's a big chunk of it right now. We're also doing great work around student support and our multi-tiered systems of support, or MTSS. So our core instruction and school-wide systems, some highlights, I really have to say, we have some really strong foundational learning happening in K2. I'm seeing increased engagement, and writing confidence with the, structure that our K2 teacher has brought into the classroom. She's doing a lot of, very academic focused things that will help our students as they progress through, as they move on into our intermediate, elementary, and then on into middle school. They're doing very skill-based learning. They're doing rotations with some independent learning, some teacher-directed learning, and some peer-to-peer learning, which is great. We are working on the MTSS fidelity review. We've got that scheduled. The barrier to that is just staffing capacity. So, the MTSS committee is working through that.
The fidelity review, can you remind?
So it is this extensive checklist where we evaluate, basically a self-evaluation. It's similar to what you guys have, but it's for classrooms. So that the board checklist that we gave you, we basically have a classroom version of it. So it is things like, my students know the learning target, like I am differentiating, but it's extensive. And often what you will do is you'll have one educator go in and observe another educator. We don't have a lot of extra educators to do that with, so we're kind of working through the process. The MTSS committee is going to problem solve that, and I know Ms. Talbot is part of that, and so I'm sure she's very excited. And Ms. Manning is part of that. We're also working on the family and community surveys, along with our school improvement plan. Our building leadership team is discussing how we want to do those going forward to ensure that they're valid. And we discussed at length having internally created surveys is probably not the direction that we want to go. Because no matter how hard you try, there is inherent bias built into them. So we're exploring some other options for that. And there are a lot of really great low or no cost surveys that we can use for both internal and external. And then student data, we continue to monitor attendance, and then some of our intervention tools, Read Theory and iReady. We have just started doing growth monitoring, with iReady as part of our new curriculum. Ms. Manning administered that to all of our title students and giving us some data points in between the diagnostic, which is great information to be able to share with families. So we can kind of see their progress, more often. And it's a much shorter test than the actual diagnostic. I think it took 15-20 minutes.
So growth monitoring is like, instead of, you know, they're getting an A, B, or C, it's improvements. We
Yes,
can
we're
see
looking,
their improvement
yes,
that
we're
they're
looking for
making.
growth.
I just think that's fantastic.
Title students.
Our students who are in reading intervention, which is
Okay.
the Title I program,
Title,
sorry.
yeah.
We administered it to all of our K-2 students and then all of our students who receive reading intervention from third grade up. And then we've got our winter diagnostic coming up that's the larger assessment that will give us that mid-year point, and then I'll have a data report for the board. Probably, the report will probably be in March, just because of how long it takes to do all of. There's 2 diagnostics and then a screener, so that report might not be till March. I do want to give you a staffing update. I sent out an email. I hope you all had a chance to read it. Mr. Harrison has taken a leave of absence for health reasons. He will not be returning this year as he prepares for his retirement. I can't say enough good things about him. It was very difficult news to deliver to students and staff. We did a stand-up meeting at the end of the day on Thursday last week, where we asked all of our staff and our PCIA students to come join us here in the library, so that I could tell them face to face instead of sending out an email or some written communication, as that didn't seem appropriate for the weight of this information. We have a long-term sub for the remainder of semester 1. She's great. She's been here before. She loves being here. We're very thankful to have her. And Ms. Lomax and I are working on the plan for second semester, prioritizing coursework for our seniors. We have a pretty solid plan, just not ready to announce it yet. And then the hiring process will be something that we'll be talking about with the board more later this year, and ensuring that we have community staff and student input, because we will not be able to replace Mr. Harrison, but we will need someone to take that position.
We'll be looking for an adjunct professor, right?
We'll be looking for someone who
Yeah,
can.
he is just such a kind man. And so I hope we're able to have some kind of a retirement thing that allows us to
That
give
is,
him a hug.
that is one of the goals. We're working with his family quite closely to see what we can do. So it was,
Yeah, I'd say kudos to Mr. Harrison for, great service to the school. I think he's been here since the beginning of
Yeah,
CCIA.
he was the original hire.
One of our students' favorites, and just such a cool, unique guy. And
Yeah.
so I say well done, and we'll wish him the best, and excited to see where we go with. How do we find somebody not to quite replace him, but to help fill that position, I think will be very key. I think these PCIA positions are so important, and so. Yeah, excited that we're gonna put it up.
I'm sure that your team will be coming up with some creative advertising, maybe at our colleges we
Yeah.
work with or something like that.
yeah, and
Because it is a unique position,
yes.
and if anybody knew about it, they'd be clamoring for it, right?
Yeah, for sure. And we wanna get the word out eventually.
So I'm gonna follow up, sad news with not happy news. It was brought to my attention that, we are in need of, some roof repair. The roofing material is bubbling, and at this time, no leaks have been identified. I've submitted for the urgent repair grant to have the roof redone. The estimate on that is just have not the bubbles, but a full, like, right, if we're gonna get a grant, then we would just redo the entire roof. The estimate on that we got was just under $400,000. I will keep the board informed on where we stand with the grant application, and at this point, we haven't heard back, but I just put it in the last couple of weeks.
Actually, I think that sounds fairly reasonable. I know it's a lot of money, but that is a big roof. And the other question would be, I don't think we should be doing it in the rain.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing.
So we have very limited time, which we could do a full replacement.
Yeah, so when we find out about the FP 502 urgent repair grant, whether it was approved or not, then we'll know what the next steps look like.
What does that require? Retarring it or taking everything off and?
I'm going to say that I am not an expert at the construction of the facilities in a way that I would want to answer without having the proposal in front of me, and I don't. If you would like more information, I'd be happy to get that to you.
Just wondering.
Similar question though, Kelly, on that, like, I'm not familiar myself either with it, but I assume, I mean, it would seem obvious, right, that if the material is bubbling, that's indicative of a problem. But do we have any sense of the severity of that? Like that's a sign that, ooh, we're gonna have an, that's clearly what's
We're
driving
going to
this.
need to do something.
Okay,
There are ways to address the bubbling without repairing the entire roof.
Okay.
That is more of a Band-Aid approach.
Mhm.
So the first step was to see if we could do the entire thing using the grant money. So
Okay.
we'll have to see if the grant is approved or denied.
Is it localized to part of the roof, or
Huh?
is it localized to a certain area of the roof?
Mine, no, it's pretty significant.
Hmm.
And at this point, though, no leaks have been identified,
Mhm.
so we are at kind of that point where if this grant doesn't come through, then we'll be talking about what we are gonna do to address the
And so-
bubbles.
and the entire
This
roof
spring.
has 2 or 3 additions that have been put on, so this would, if we do the entire roof, would be one cohesive roof.
Correct, yeah, and we even looked into whether it was under warranty, and we've done quite
Yeah,
a bit
because
of.
a big part of it was done like 7-8 years ago.
that's what I was
Yeah.
trying to recall, is what work did we do? That was right about the time I exited the board, and I know there was a lot of
It was both.
water
we-
damage up front.
Yeah, we dealt with the water damage over the offices.
We had a couple of our beams running out,
Yes,
and so we had to
Replace those,
replace some
Then
beams.
did the roof.
And then I'm not sure if we extended that space at the same time, or if that was a different time.
but it wasn't re-roofing anything at that point, it was other types.
Well,
of
if you have to
repairs.
put in a new beam, I don't know what it
I
did to the
think they
roof.
laid some new material, like roofing
Like a
material.
patch
like
there, just for
patching
that
and-
thing, but we had
Yeah.
redone the roof, I
Yeah,
think for everything except the gym, like in the last 10 years.
That's what I thought, so that's what I'm trying to reconcile. Like,
So
if
I don't know if we had
re-roofed, are we not under warranty? Was that a shorter term, like a shorter life?
I mean, it's a 30, what is that, a 20 or 30-year roof? I don't know what warranty we got with that. I don't remember.
and we did have, we've had several people come out and look at it, including, Troy Lomax with
Mhm.
CSG.
Mhm.
So like, we've had some people who solidly understand construction. Tim's also been up there, Troy Lomax, like, so.
And this end is new too, but
Yeah.
it's much older than.
But in that then, meaning that we've validated or verified we're not under any kind of warranty, or maybe there's
Yes.
something more to learn
They,
there?
yes, they've already done
Ruled
that,
that
yeah,
out.
yeah, so we are, so I hope, I fully expect to have, an update for you in the, at the February meeting, and if anything is urgent before then, I would leave it out and make sure that we address it.
Okay,
The little update on the little forest, we had one of our neighbors reach out because there's a tree hanging over their fence. We got, an estimate to have it removed. It was rather expensive. Well, the first estimate, they were unwilling to do the work at this time. They didn't feel it was safe, so the neighbors got an estimate. It is bigger than that one tree. There's some just general forest management that needs to happen. And so inside your board packet, you have a proposal for forest management services. That if the board could please review this, and respond, with questions to me directly, I'd be happy to get that, or, we will also discuss it at our next meeting, so we don't need to read it today, but if you can please take it home, look at it. Let me know if you need additional information to feel ready to have a discussion around some potential options around how to manage the little forest. There are several leaning trees. Um,
Are those trees pretty big now?
some of them are, but we definitely will need to address some of the concerns and
Selective logging.
take a look at your proposal and that there is a
Yeah,
potential
that might
for.
bring in enough money to pay for something.
Mhm. So my
So read
ask
it
is
and then we'll
just
talk
read it at some point between now and the next meeting.
Okay.
As you read through it, any questions, feel free to let me know. You can just email me or come in and chat with me, but I would like to review this further at the next meeting, but that gives
Okay.
you guys an option to earn some time. I believe it was at our last meeting, I addressed that, everybody gets tested for lead in their drinking water. We had 2 fountains that came above the ppm's parts per something
Limit,
limit, we'll go with limit. One is now just gonna be hand washing only. It's not typically accessed even for that, but, we've marked it that permanently. The other one, we've done, the steps to, have it retested. The retest, they're coming back out on January 17th, and we fully expect it to be back operational. And then good news. I thought I'd put the good news at the end of this slide. Naomi applied for and received a grant for breakfast meals, the Breakfast Meals for Kids grant, for just under $7,700 to purchase a new refrigerator freezer side by side for the kitchen.
oh, does it replace what you have?
It
Or do we
replaces.
need new space?
No, it's gonna replace one of the, one that's in there. We'll just have to take out the cabinet up above it, but, really exciting news, cause that will keep more
Well,
consistent. temperatures.
congratulations to Naomi
Yeah.
for doing the grant, to getting it in and all of that.
I also wanted to just call attention, we talked about our safety committee, but here's some of the work that they've been doing. We use Emergent 3, as our notification, system. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it a work in progress. It is something that the safety committee is diligently working to ensure it is working effectively and appropriately. It is something that employees can download on their phone and they all have installed on their computer. In the event of emergency, certain people on staff can push out a notification for like a hold drill, a shelter in place drill, and anything like that. We are having some technical difficulties with the alerts being audible. So we're using our 2-way radios that were purchased last year as kind of a way to communicate either after you get the alert or letting staff know, hey, this is coming, please have your radio on so that if you don't get the alert, you can let us know immediately. And then you can see some of the drills that we've already run this year: bus evacuation, earthquake, a fire evacuation, and then a hold. There's a drill planned each month, and they get progressively, we'll put some additional steps in as we go. So if we're doing an evacuation drill for fire, if it's our 3rd one of the year, we might be like, oh, this door is blocked off, you have to reroute, so that we're practicing different scenarios. We're also working really hard to comply with Alyssa's law. We are in compliance, but it would be great to increase it. This is an enhanced emergency response system law that went into effect recently, and we just applied for the FP 507 grant to increase our security preparedness infrastructure. So another grant that we have out there. There are a lot of different things that we can do as far as like the entry points. We really are looking to get some type of like PA system where we can announce from the office as opposed to.
We talked about that earlier. Beginning of the year.
We did, it's very expensive, so we're still trying to look for grants to make it happen. See, there I did, I clicked the wrong button, I'm not very good at this. Last couple of things, there it is, Anita, do you wanna say it? You're so excited, we'll let Anita
That's
share.
right, we are Rural Secure School Funding Act passed Congress. So I haven't read it yet, so I don't know how many years it's for. But at least we'll have money coming in 26.
Yeah.
This announcement came from Kevin Waters, our legislative representative, and I haven't had a chance to follow up on what bill it was included in and.
Yeah.
And what it said.
And
but
the
I'm
last I heard
sure
it
we'll
was
find out.
still awaiting the president's signature, but there's no reason to expect that won't happen. So that is great news. And then we also, every year, we have to fill out a compliance survey for basic education. And we got our full certification granted, in October. And then I just want to take a second and welcome Joan and John. We're really excited to have you join us. Remind the board that we'll be working through some of the school improvement plan stuff. The building leadership team is reviewing data monthly. The multi-tiered system of support committee is collecting data monthly as well, which we'll bring to the board. We'll be starting the mid-year review process for our school improvement plan in January, which will include looking at the iReady diagnostic data, the Google Classroom analytics, and attendance data to align with the goals, and then I'll be bringing that back to the board.
So Anita, the Secure Rural Schools approved 2 years of missed payments for 24 and 25, and then it funded through 26.
We already received funding last year.
A little bit, very small amount.
We
So I
did.
don't know why
We weren't expecting it, but it showed up. We don't know.
so maybe that was from 23 that we got paid for 24.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
And then just kind of looking ahead, we've got the end of semester 1, the end of cycle 2 for our title interventions, which is our reading intervention coming up. The first day of second semester for PCIA is January 22nd, which is a Thursday, and then we have that Friday off for teachers to grade. The calendar just landed that way, so that'll work out. We had our emergency closure on Friday. So we will make that up on February 13th, weather permitting. And then just a reminder, please take a look at that forest management service report to be able to respond. We do need to talk about rescheduling the board retreat. So if you all could maybe look at your calendars for March on, and then let me know if there are any dates you cannot do, like a Saturday.
So our board retreat, I feel is really important because we have several things we need to talk about. One is our superintendent evaluation process, but most importantly is establishing goals with our superintendent to talk about what we've accomplished so far and getting new goals in place.
Well,
And-
we were
Pardon?
wanting to have some like cultural discussions and some other.
There'll be a lot of things, but it also is an opportunity to address our mandatory open public meeting training. Or we can discuss prior to then if we want to have training in a different manner, we could have somebody come do it. I could do it. You have on top of your pile a little brochure that talks about it. It's mandatory to get done within 90 days. So March might be just a tiny bit behind schedule, but I don't think anybody's gonna complain. It is in addition, something that you have to take every 4 years, so. Eric, you'll be on the table for it. It's probably been 4 years since you've had it.
Yeah, I can't tell you
Yeah.
if that's true or not, but.
Not that you couldn't just teach it yourself, for sure. But so there are several things besides mission and goals for the district and evaluating ourselves and the job we're doing and the job we want to do in the future.
Sure.
So there's so many things that the board retreat can do for us that some of it we really need to get done. Make sure that we're moving forward so far, everything we say over and over is students first. And so that's the whole reason we need a board retreat, is to make sure we're focused that way.
So we're targeting March. We just want to know if there's any dates that don't, Saturdays that don't work in March.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, and if you wanna, if the end of February also looks good, if you wanna just let me know. Any of those February's or March Saturdays that you couldn't,
okay.
then we can get that. in.
February 30th.
Is that the date you're available, February 30th? I'll try to make that work for you. And then just in closing, I just, as we're heading into winter break, I just wanna stop and recognize the collective effort that is happening and makes this place so special. As we're closing out the calendar year, a lot of, people will start to reflect upon the year past and, the year coming up. And I just think that the progress that we're making in instruction and, tier alignment from our classroom instruction to our intervention to our special education services, it's really inspiring to be part of a team that is putting in just an incredible amount of work to making sure that our students are served. The safety improvements, the community engagement that we're working on, it really reflects on the resilience and the collaboration that's happening around here. And just thank the board for their continued support as we enter the new year with clarity and shared purpose. And then invite you all to our gingerbread house assembly on Friday. We saw the beautiful doors. We'll be announcing the door decoration contest winner. And students will be building gingerbread houses and setting them up in villages. And then our secret judge will pick one of the villages as the winner, and they will get the coveted gingerbread apron. Which last year's winner has worn at least 2 times a week this week.
She said she's not giving it up.
But also, you probably all noticed on social media, third time is a charm, our music and Millet
Yes.
is Wednesday.
Yes, third time is a charm. We are
Say this Wednesday.
yeah. We have now had 2 emergency events on the day of the winter concert. And so there's nothing that we can do other than kind of joke about it and hope that the third time is a charm.
I thought whoever came up with that was a good, perfect saying for it, to do that.
And
Third time is a charm.
that concludes my report.
I just have one question. How are we doing? We have good substitute lists? We
We're-
doing good on a substitutes availability?
It is a challenge, but we are working on it. We're working on subs of all kinds, from bus drivers to
Oh, that's
classroom
right, bus
teachers to
drivers.
paras to nutrition services. We have a lot of conversations happening with schools in the area and even with ESD about how we can support the greater Gorge community with the need for subs. It is a challenge. So if you know anyone who's looking to sub, please send them our way in any capacity.
And I guess we've had so many things come up last week that changed things, and all the parents are getting messages right on time and all of that.
Trying.
That's good. That is really good. Okay. Are there any questions, any further questions or of Kelly and her report, or any other thing you want to ask Kelly? All right, let's
So are you
go ahead.
just through this week, are you taking a Christmas break as well?
Like over winter,
Over winter break, yeah.
I'll probably work from home.
Are you gonna need time to recover after
A
the
couple days.
Christmas Eve loss of the Packers to the Vikings?
I actually believe we have a celebration planned that evening for the great things that will happen to the cheeseheads. Although if you have seen the injury report, I just don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's
That was sad.
pretty brutal. So we've lost some really good players this year, so I guess I'll have to pick a backup team that won't be the Vikings.
Okay, we're going to, we tabled item 10, so we're going to move on to public comment. The public
have.
have any comments?
I do have comments. So I've talked my oldest son into training to be a substitute bus driver for me.
Oh, good.
And he got his book, he's already studying. And the good thing about him is he's a paid firefighter. He's also a volunteer firefighter for another district. And he drives ambulance for transfers from Hood River into Portland. So he's all medical, plus he teaches first aid and CPR classes. So I'm hoping some of our teachers that are driving the Suburban will be able to take a class, but he has decided that he would be a bus driver for me.
So what's his name?
Dustin
Dustin
Zirkle.
Circle, okay.
So he lives over in Hood River, so he'll be commuting back and forth. And I told him I'd still try doing my doctor's appointments and stuff during my lunch hour like I have been, but just in case something comes up. And I'm not sure if, I don't have all the details if ESD is gonna be the one training or if, is it considered White Salmon?
Well,
Okay.
that's who does
White
it
Salmon.
at White Salmon. It's
Okay.
at White Salmon, but yeah, they're the ones who coordinate it.
Okay, so he has the book he's studying, so I'm excited about that. And then I have a friend that I used to work with at Stevenson, and she had quit bus driving, but she's kept up all of her credentials and went into home care and hospice care for people. And she said that the hospice part has been really hard lately because she knows everybody in Carson and they're the ones that have been passing, so she's gonna take some time off that. And said that she'd be happy to be a substitute driver for me. I just found this out this weekend. And she wouldn't be able to start till the spring or more towards the end of the year, but it's promising. Then I have a friend that I used to work with, another one at Stevenson that's kept her credentials up. She works as a para at at Carson School District. Said she would be willing to help me out in an emergency like we had last week. If the principal slash superintendent or vice principal would talk to that principal if needed, so. It'd be easier for them to find a substitute para, cause they have a list of them, than it is for us to find a bus driver, so I have 3 kind of, so I'm really happy, cause right now we have 0, and last week we had to cancel transportation one day, and so that was a tough. I almost canceled my appointment, but
No.
Kelly talked me into keeping it. So, yeah.
The closest driver that was available that day, well, I can't even say they were available. We'd gotten so far as to be calling drivers who lived in Kalama. Before I said we need to stop. That's not safe to have someone come up from Kalama and be still driving our students at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're done. We'll just move forward without transportation for a day. But we had talked to every school from Lyle all the way out there and had ESD 112 also calling and trying to help us.
For our new board members, Barbie is one of 2, I believe, who works a split shift. Because she's up early in the morning, getting that bus ready to go and does the transportation, and then she has to be back to do it in the afternoon. So she has a split shift. She doesn't have to sleep and take a nap here. She can go home and whatever.
Hopefully do something, yeah. Oh,
Not twiddling her thumbs here. And Tim is the other one who does a split shift, so because there's certain facility cleaning things that he can't do during the day when class is in session.
so if anybody else wants to be a bus driver, we're happy to sign you up.
I tried to convince Dennis, but he said no way, he couldn't get up that early.
Well, most of the time that I need one is in the afternoon, cause you know, you
Yeah.
really can't get appointments that early in the mornings,
Right.
so. Unless,
Okay, well, I'll try again.
yeah,
I was gonna do it once, but blood pressure's too high and it's still too.
That would be good.
Yeah, that would probably not help it.
Not with the bus full of kids.
Hey, I have good kids on my bus. I would not trade my group of kids for
Yeah,
any
but-
group of kids at another district.
But would Bill have good kids on your bus?
You know, I was seeing, I watched the videos after I have a substitute driver to see how the kids react. And they're not as well as I would like them, but they're still not bad. I mean, they're a little louder, but they still sit down, they're respectful. And, so I wouldn't trade them. Even though the year started out really tough, I was ready to throw in the towel, but, these certain kids are now sitting farther back in the bus and sitting with their friends, and we're doing good.
Barbie did a great job of setting expectations and holding kids to high standards, and it paid off.
Thank you. Yeah, they're doing good except for like today. And I was looking in the mirror because somebody was talking to me and I looked down and there's a deer in front of me. So I hit the brakes. Then this little girl got mad at me because she had a couple of little doll binkies, really tiny. They fell on the floor and she was not happy with me. And she said, you did that on purpose to make me drop them. And I said, no, you didn't see the deer that was out in front of me. So anyway, she was mad because I wouldn't pull over and find her binkies for her so she could take them home. And then before she got off the bus, she goes, I really need them tonight. And I said, I'm sorry, I'll look when I get back to the bus garage. So I looked and I found the binkies, so I set it on her seat, so she would find it in the morning. So anyway, but it's good. If anybody wants to be a bus driver, you never know what the kids are gonna say to you. So,
My
something
stepdad used to drive bus, you probably rode with him, Bill Humpage.
he was, before my time, or after my time in school, I guess, yeah,
But, kids love their bus driver, they actually do.
yeah.
I think they do like bus drivers. I think you probably got, the kids really like you in spite of what they say.
Yeah, well, what really made my day is Friday when I came back. I was gone all day Thursday. Kind of an emotional day. And then Friday when I came back, the kids came on the bus and this one little boy in particular, he said, Miss Barbie, I really missed you yesterday. I'm glad you're back. I was like, they just fill your heart. And I had parents, say, we're sorry that you had to take off, but we're glad you were able to do what you needed to do, and we appreciate you, and we're glad you're back. So
Alright.
it was good. So
Thank you for your work, Barbie.
Yeah,
thank you.
Excellent.
I love the kids. I just couldn't.
Well, in addition to what she does for our new folks, she does an enormous pile of paperwork. Oh, state forms. I don't know what you do, but I know you do a lot. And I know there's deadlines at the state, the details you have to report all the time. Plus she coordinates all the maintenance and make sure all the maintenance is done on time and all the inspections. There's bus inspections that she takes care of. So she does a lot.
Yeah. In fact, if you guys are up by the school, we're supposed to have a surprise inspection, could happen any day, so if you see 1 to 4 state patrol cars, they're here to-
They're here for her.
Yeah. So anyway, their surprise one starts November 1st. And last year they did ours first, but this year we haven't seen them yet, so I think they're starting from Vancouver up that way and working our way, so we just never know. I don't know until I pull in the schoolyard with the kids and see the state patrolman down there, and then I know they're here to inspect, so.
Okay, any other public comment? Jennifer, you have anything for
I
us?
was just gonna say that it probably would be helpful if when we make big changes like the parking lot, that
we send out some kind of information beforehand.
Well, that's a good idea, Gek, because it was a shocker. Okay, anything else? All right, let's move on to, old business, new business. So for old business, we talked about what I have down that, retreat and the various valuations we're responsible for, the open public meeting training. And so review your, little brochure and come back with questions or, we can, talk about your preference on how to meet that training need. We can train ourselves. One of us could lead it, Kelly could lead it, or we can have someone come in and do the training. However, we want to move forward there. Go ahead. We do need to set our meeting date for January because the regular meeting date in January is a holiday. And I have. Pardon?
I'm sorry.
It's been a challenge in the past because I'm on the Swainy County Planning Commission and our regular meeting day is Tuesday, the third Tuesday, where our meetings are the third Monday. They are the third Tuesday, but we are redoing our meeting dates and I have told them I'm not available on the third Tuesday. So I think if we want to schedule our meeting for the third Thursday, that's just fine.
So the
Good to me.
20th
Yeah.
or the,
January 20th.
so we wouldn't have our, everything prepared on the 12th. Is that right? That's too soon.
No, I don't think that's payroll probably.
I think we've got it's close, like we've done it where it's like,
It is really challenging to move.
okay,
I will tell you, payroll, AP, business office, all of those things. A
it's
large shift is.
it's January
really hard.
too. It probably would be easier for February, but coming right off of winter break. Getting that all done by the 12th, I imagine that'd be a challenge.
And we also, thinking about AP, because we just do once a month, getting that cycle too far off can create a cascading effect.
So you're saying the 20th is good?
I think I'm from the perspective of business, that if the 20th works for board members, that would be, the preference, yeah.
I can make it work.
Yeah, it works for me. Yes, I've already. told them I can't be there on
I
the-
think that works for me.
Would you like to schedule February's
Yeah,
as well?
great.
Or do you want to do that in January? February, we have the same situation. Our board meeting is the 16th of February, which is a holiday, it's President's Day.
It's the 16th,
It is Monday, the 16th.
yeah, we definitely can't do the 9th.
So we could move it to Tuesday, the 17th.
I need to check on those.
The previous Monday would be way too early.
I would have a personal preference to go a week out, cause I have company that
Okay,
week of presidents, but if.
Could we do the 21st?
That's a Saturday.
You said Monday the 14th.
16th.
16th, the 23rd is too late, we have to have it done by the. Or is it-
Yeah, the 23rd, I don't think that gives enough time.
Okay,
so do you have company all week long? Can we change it to a Thursday
yeah,
or?
we could, then that would be my next fallback, but again. Tuesday could work too, just make it work.
So which day?
So. Thursday, the Thursday, the 19th work?
That works for me, is, the 23rd is too late for us to get payroll through the system.
Yeah.
Okay,
Any other problems with a Thursday?
19th works for me.
No?
There's,
Good? Too far out.
well, why don't we temporarily set it for Thursday, the 19th? And at the Monday, at the January meeting, we'll review
Sure.
and see if it's still the valid date.
cause the other thing we can do is we
I don't
could,
think I can do them.
You can't?
the 19th?
No, I have I actually have a doctor's appointment that day that took me 5 months to get. To reschedule that.
So let's leave February meeting as is. Everyone check your calendars and we will determine a February meeting at our January meeting. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, Another thing I think
Good, but maybe we just do the 17th.
Yeah,
Is
Can we-
that a conflict for anybody? Tuesday the 17th?
17th,
Mhm.
probably can do that.
All right, we'll do the 17th with the same thing. We can always change it
Yeah.
in January if we need to.
Okay.
Works.
So the other thing we could look at is like pre-authorizing payroll to get signed.
Well, I was
Like,
wondering about
consider-
that too. We could do that. And so that when it comes to us, we're concurring. And we could, I mean, it's pretty near the same every month, but,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I think that's an option that we would have.
We can also keep the agenda for February really light if we need to.
That'd be great. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind not having to dig deep into policy during evaluation cycle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see, what else? Any kind of other old business or new business or good for the order anyone has? All right, we'll move on to document signing. So, for our new folks, we would have, send the documents around during the meeting for people to sign, and it was a little, makes it hard to sign while you're paying attention to what people are saying, so I'll send 2 this way and 2 this way.
Okay.
We'll get these signed.
Yeah, and then put the new stuff in next.
Like doing what to do on that as well.
Sign your name.
I do care what position I sign in here.
No, you just pick any line, nobody picks. I don't know if it's like chairs and everybody picks the same line or not. So there were 2 changes on the minutes, would you like,
I've got a note and I imagine this.
okay, so
Those.
Yep, okay.
Go.
And then for our, Bill was just explaining this to Joan, but for our new board members as well, if you will leave your binder, if there's anything that you would like to retain, there's a tab that says keep. And then, we will, I say we, Jessica will swap out all of the, information in the tabs for payroll, consent agenda, budget, and have that ready for you next month.
Yeah. This is you. Oh, you'll get a new version with the modifications anyway.
Yeah.
You like, you like to do the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Because they're gonna put new next month stuff in there and you take these home. And then if
Gonna
there's
reread that.
anything you wanna keep, it says. Usually says kept whatever.
Yeah. That's it, like that.
Put that behind that. in the
You didn't have that thing in?
I showed it last week.
Oh my god.
If anyone wants that proposal emailed to them, please let me know. I'd be happy to send an electronic copy.
I think it's on there, probably, that's right.
You mean no?
Yeah, that's free.
No, I like it like this, I'm a hard copy
grab it.
person.
Me too.
I'm sorry, one more time, Kelly, anything we wanna keep, we can
There's a
just
tab
move
that's
to the
marked-
keep.
Yep,
Mhm.
and then.
And
we
we'll
won't
see
touch
that the
that
next
section.
time we come
Yeah,
back.
we
to it.
won't pull that out. But everything under AP consent agenda, we'll swap out with the.
Oh, okay.
Meeting information.
What do you mean?
And if am I free to take anything I want?
Absolutely, yep.
Like, she wouldn't give the rule because
So-
I have to
So
figure
we'll
out. my-
swap out everything behind here, we'll swap everything behind here, we'll swap this out. The policies, we didn't address them, so they'll end up staying the same, but if you want anything to not leave,
Right.
just make sure it's behind here.
Okay, okay.
We just-
That's-
And that just is, that stays in there.
That's all.
It's clean.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I think I got it.
Because we're gonna go over that next, so.
Taking a few things to figure out what I'm gonna
These-
do.
Perfect.
Right,
We're gonna-
Like, I keep all of the, previous meeting agendas in mind, those are under my keep, John, so I have all my notes every time.
Right.
But I don't need like
Yeah.
the previous month's budget report
Yeah.
unless I'm responding to it.
Accounting geek, so I like.
Yeah, you'll probably, yeah, but like, I only keep it if I've written questions on it, or circled something.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
That's addressed, right?
I can always just pull it up electronically.
Yeah.
But I just need to review back to it.
Next, I do wanna say something I forgot to say earlier. Kelly will probably do a little press release about our new directors, get a little,
Good.
get a little press, public thing in the paper, little notice about how good Mill A is doing.
Great.
And, I just did a little bullet thing
Okay,
for Kelly to think about. And, is that okay for you to do that?
Absolutely, yeah, I was just waiting for, the,
How about this?
chair and vice chair, and then we'll get that information sent off.
I don't know. I didn't get that.
Okay, I do
Could I-
believe we're going to have.
That's
Go
for
ahead.
you.
oh, I'm sorry, well, I don't,
That's,
just,
this was
I
the
just was
send it to
gonna
our new
clarify.
number.
So I,
That's
what
yours.
is gonna be notes electronically with docs before meeting? Do we get anything electronically? Do the packets come here? Or
You choose.
I choose, okay.
So like Bill gets a hard copy, right? Jessica handles all of that for us. Thank you to Jessica for
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
If you want hard copies, or if you want electronic copies, or whatever.
There's a drive, a
Oh,
Google
you're
Drive that will give you
in-
two and bring on. It will.
Okay,
So-
that's perfect for me. And then, so somebody will set me up then with the email. and
Yeah,
then
what
get
we'll
on
wanna
Google
do
Drive.
is, I will get in touch with both of you and we'll get, set a time to kind of do like a orientation around the, electronic version, make sure you have everything set
Okay.
up, your, MASD board member email, things like that, and then just any questions that you might have, and we'll make sure that Jessica, is sitting in on those so that she can walk you through all the
Okay.
stuff that she does as well.
Cause by and large, my preference would be electric.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
So the agenda is always out a minimum 24 hours in advance, but it's out much longer, further than that on the website.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, some of the supporting information isn't out till Monday,
Draft
sometime
of
on
the-
Monday, even late on Monday.
Drafts
Yeah.
of the policies are always linked to the agenda,
Yeah,
so the public
I've
has
seen
them
that.
as well.
that's cool.
But yeah,
Yeah.
anything that's in your packet, we can supply
Yeah.
through.
All the reports are electronic.
Sweet.
Okay, so we're going to go into a short executive session of 15 minutes, do you think? So it is 8:15. And so we'll temporarily close our regular session, go into executive session. And announce to the public when they come back, which should be at 8:15.
Can I run up to the restroom first?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, yes, we're gonna take a little bit of restroom break as well, so let's say we're back at 8:20. It's a good thing we don't have snacks in every meeting.